Transmitting from sunny Southern California, capital of entertainment, beautiful ladies, and great whiskey. You're listening to the Hot OTM podcast, where we discuss politics, guns, entertainment, music, and all the controversial topics we can find. Here are your hosts, Hector Robles and Christian Mejia.
All right, what's up, Hector? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Chris? How about we introduce ourselves to our lovely audience so they're aware who the hell they're listening to?
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do this, man. Well, my name is Christian, and I am a music fan, and I'm very glad to be doing this podcast here with you. I'm looking forward to this new journey here.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm happy to get this podcast started. It's Hot OTM. You're like, what the hell is that? It's hot on the mic. So, where we talk about all kinds of controversial topics and some fun stuff too. So
stuff that has been boiling in your brain, right?
Yeah,
you really want to get it out.
So, Chris, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, should I say? Let's start
probably there. Bloodsport.
Bloodsport?
Yeah.
I agree, man. That's a
Bloodsport was definitely really good movie. It was fun.
Right.
You know, there was another one that I did enjoy, but
Kickboxer?
Kickboxer, and then also when he has a twin brother.
He's that's Double Impact.
Something like that. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool, but corny, but it was all right. It was cool.
Well, I'm Hector Robles, and I like long walks on the beach, like Jean-Claude Van Damme movie marathons, and I just like to talk about bunch of shit that no one wants to talk about. So, and that's kind of what this whole podcast is about. It's about us just kind of just throwing stuff that's on our mind and that's bothering us, and kind of discuss it, because I think that that's missing right now with most media outlets, is that they don't want to discuss anything. They just want to tell you what's right and what's wrong. And I felt that it's time for us to kind of discuss it and have an open forum on stuff like that. And like I said, and maybe discuss a couple of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
So welcome everyone to our first podcast. So now, Hector, what's on your mind?
All right. So
where do we start?
Let's start with this, because this is like pending right here. You hear this on the news all the time right now. The situation with Trump and politics.
Oh,
right? I keep on getting called a Trump lover. Maybe I might be. I didn't think I was a Trump lover, to be honest with you, because I'm a libertarian.
Okay.
but I mean, I just want small government. Don't want government to take care of us. Just get out of the way and let me do what I want to do. You know, like.
Do you think he fits that? He fits that? Not
necessarily, because he does a lot of stuff, kind of like. The whole money printing thing, I think that's a bad idea. And, I know they're trying to help the economy, but printing more money and giving more money to all the rich people to make sure that all the companies, stay afloat. It's not.
It does. That makes it seem like the government doesn't work for the people.
It works for companies.
Corporations, right?
And kind of one thing that I've noticed is it looks like corporations are capitalist when it's time to take profit, but they're socialist when it's time that when they're taking losses. And you know that.
Well, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's kind of crony capitalism, which kind of bothers me. And then you hear the left saying, "Well, if you're giving money to them, give money to me." And it's like, no, dude. How about we don't give any money to anybody? Just the more the government gets involved, the more problems start to arise.
So what is the government supposed to do for us then?
At least my understanding is they're there to serve the people, right? So, and I find that most government, like officials and everyone, is there to serve themselves. They're not there to serve the people. They're career politicians at this point. Biden, 47 years, hasn't done crap I mean, and then something that bothers me a lot of Biden is since we live here in Southern California, there's a lot of like an immigrant community, and everyone's like, oh my God, Obama was the best person ever. and Biden was the vice president at the time. Like, he was such a great person, and blah 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 blah. But Trump,
You hardly ever heard of him.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Obama took the spotlight all the time.
Yeah, Obama took the spotlight all the time. But something that's kind of interesting is they say, can you believe this Trump guy? He's an animal. He has little children, immigrant children, in cages. And it's like Biden and Obama created the cages. Like,
yeah,
and all of a sudden, but they're heroes and Trump is not. Like, that's just, I mean, that's stupidity at its best, to be honest with you. Like, you can't be saying that your candidate is a hero when they're the ones who built the cages for children, immigrant children, you know? So, all right. So with that being said, I'm not saying that Trump is perfect either. I mean, obviously he's banged a porn star, and, you know, he's kind of. But okay,
so if he banged a porn star, what does that have to do with this?
Well, I think he paid for her. I mean, well,
I mean, fuck it.
I'm just saying that's not very presidential. You're supposed to keep that under wraps, I guess. Most of the presidents do.
Tell me which president hasn't done that. Probably, you know. I mean,
yeah,
one of our favorite. I don't know. I mean, obviously I wasn't alive at the time, but you know, Kennedy. But he was a playboy. You know?
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree, but I guess my point is I disagree with a lot of things that Trump does and says. But if you're asking me if Trump is the best thing for America, yes, I do think that he's the best thing for America.
So you're talking about his policies. You believe in his policies.
Yeah, and I think that's what we should be focusing on, policies. And I know, like I said, he's done a lot of stupid policies too, but so has Biden. And, you know, I get into kind of discussions with some of my friends and stuff about that. One of the biggest issues that I find that, I mean, just this one issue alone, I'm out of the Biden friend camp, I guess you could say, is he's here to attack the Second Amendment, your rights to bear arms, and the left has always said, well, you don't need that, we have police. But now they're saying, oh, you don't need police, let's defund police. So who the hell's going to protect you if you can't protect yourself? You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can't have both. You know, you don't want me to have gun rights, but then you're also going to be defunding the police. And even if you did defund the police, those gun rights are God-given. They're written into the Constitution. It's the foundation. It's embedded into our culture. And if you don't like it, well, that's great. If you feel that it's bad, then they need to revise the Constitution if they feel that that's what needs to be done. But you can't be like...
Can you really revise the Constitution?
Well, it has been... I mean, amendments have been added to the Constitution.
Oh, yes, but like, can we take away or can we modify, like, the First Amendment?
I don't think that one is up for debate. I mean, because then let's modify the First Amendment. If I don't like what you're saying, then, it's offensive. I mean, where does it stop? Shit rolls downhill.
Doesn't that mean, like, if we... That's un-American, because
this is super un-American, bro.
Because this is the land of opportunities. This is the land of the free.
Man, so it's so un-American, man, and it bothers the crap out of me.
I just personally, bro, I really think as a society we have become very soft.
We're a bunch of fucking pussies, dude.
Yeah, we have become very soft because.
I think it's because we're all so sheltered, man. Like in these cities, everyone's so sheltered. Everyone's like, oh, all you do is get your iPad, get your iPhone. And it's like, fool, if there's no electricity, no nothing, shit hits the fan. There's no iPads, there's no iPhone, there's no 911. It's your fucking hands and your gun and protect your family, But they've never been put in a situation like that. They've never been to a third world country where people get fucking robbed in the corner and they don't see what can actually happen.
Have you actually witnessed that?
What, getting somebody? Well, only in video. I mean,
no, I actually did.
You did?
It is pretty scary, dude.
It's fucking brutal, dude.
It's brutal, dude. It's wow, dude.
And the thing,
I did a little bit of traveling as I was younger, and I did visit a couple of countries and stuff. I went backpacking, and it's beautiful. I had a great time. It was awesome. People talk about America like how great it is. They love it. Everybody wants to come here.
Yeah, man.
It's the land of opportunity, right?
Nobody's saying, "Hey, I want to go to Poland." Everyone says, "Hey, I want to go to America."
Everybody wants to come here. Everybody. They do have a lot of disagreement. They love us and they hate us. They love the fact that we have so much freedom, and they see it, obviously because they're outside of our world. They see that we take our freedom for granted. We have like so many opportunities, and we just don't do, I guess, what they would come and do. They wish they'd had the opportunity,
But realistically, man, like I think that's the problem with a lot of people here in America is they don't see it through the eyes of what happens when you lose these rights and you get stuck in a messed up situation. A perfect example is Mexico. My family comes from Mexico, and realistically, people there can't defend themselves. I mean, they don't have any guns, aren't legal for the normal citizen. Yeah, if you have money, you could probably get some permits and things like that, but you have to have money. You can't just be a normal citizen. You can't go to the corner
so
gun
it's
store.
not like here where, like, I'm not, I know you're a gun, you like guns?
Yeah, I'm a gun enthusiast, yes.
I'm not. I'm totally the opposite, but I don't feel like we need, I mean, I'm not, just because I'm not a gun owner, it doesn't mean like, let's go ahead and take this right away. Like, I don't believe that, because all of these rights were given to us. They're there for a reason, and nobody should take those rights away from us.
Something that people just misconstrue from the very beginning is they're like, well, you don't need more than 10 bullets to shoot an animal. It's like the Constitution put that there for the government, not for hunting. So like, yes, we do need more than 10 bullets in case the government becomes tyrannical. Then that's when the people come in.
Do you ever think that could ever happen?
Oh yeah, man. I think it could definitely happen.
Do you kind of see that now with everything that's going on?
I feel like stuff is boiling here in America, and I think that we're getting into a situation where, okay, this is me kind of maybe pushing it a little bit, but I do feel that government is pushing us towards communism, and
I kind of sense that too.
You feel that? Yeah, I feel that we're getting pushed towards communism, and I think that, I don't know if you know this, but America owns approximately 40% of the weapons in the world. So, I mean, we've got a lot of weapons here in America.
I thought it was the 60%.
No, I believe it's 40% of the armament in America. You want me to check? Fact checking me on here.
Yeah.
I have truly shocking news for you. Americans make up 4% of the world's population, but own 40% of all the guns.
But how many, is there a limit of how many guns an individual can own?
If I'm correct, the last time I checked, I think it was 12 guns, and then you have to register yourself as a militia, I believe. Oh. Yeah, I think one of my cousins told me about that. But the other thing too is you can't buy more than one gun every 30 days or something like that. So
that's pretty hardcore, dude.
I mean, that's here in California. In California, we have restrictions up the yin yang, and if Biden gets in and Kamala Harris gets in, California gun laws are gonna be American gun laws, and then all shit's gonna hit the fan. Because I don't think.
I think they're in, dude.
That's another thing too.
I think they're in. It's
something that I heard. I heard that Obama was saying that they were going to storm the White House with special forces if Trump didn't leave the office. That's what I heard.
What?
Yeah, that allegedly there was a video of him saying that. Here, let me go ahead and see if I can pull that up.
House. Well, you lived there for 8 years. Are there places someone could hide, like if, say, they were going to be removed? Are there little cubby holes or anything we should know about?
Well, I think we can always send the Navy SEALs in there to dig them out.
But let me ask you this then. This is the first time that I'm watching an ex-president get involved in talking. Is there something in it for this guy or what?
Well, the thing is, this is a mafia, man. This is a mafia, and the Republicans and the Democrats have their own mob, and I think that Trump is the outlier that nobody wanted to get in there. And I do
from the Republicans and from the Democrats.
From both, it's the establishment. They don't want this guy. They want to keep on taking bribes and keep on doing, what they're doing. And I actually had a discussion with my mom, of all people.
How did that go?
And well, my mom was like, she surprisingly, like I was kind of surprised. She's pretty open-minded about, politics. And she was telling me, she's like, this place is worse than Mexico with corruption. It's just that, that you just can't see it like openly like they do in Mexico.
That's right.
And I'm like, you know what? You're completely right, Mom. Like this is full of corruption. And something that bothers the crap out of me is if you look at mainstream media, there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever of voter fraud. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. We all know there was some sort of voter fraud. Like, there's always voter fraud. And all of a sudden,
I believe there was, because, I mean, obviously you saw the rallies, right? Trump, massive.
They're massive, man.
Biden would show up. It was like fucking crickets.
It was empty.
Kamala would show up. Yeah, there were a few.
Did you say camel toe?
Oh, no. Kamala, she would go. There were a few people, but it was not like, it was nothing like
the Trump rallies,
like
right?
The Trump rallies, dude, at all.
Dude, I'm telling you, something is off in this situation. And the other crazy thing too, I don't know if you know this, when the election was happening and Trump was winning, I think there was 5 states that he was winning, and they were like pivotal states.
All of a sudden they switched.
And they stopped. They're like, okay, we're gonna stop counting right now. We're gonna restart tomorrow. So they sent like all the people who watched the votes. They sent everyone home, and then the Democrats started counting again while the Republicans were not watching in those 5 states. And then all of a sudden, Biden's in the lead again. It's like, dude, I call bullshit on that. Like, there's no way. Like, really, go home. It's all right. We'll count. We're gonna shut down the count. And then when you come back the next morning, we stayed and counted. And Biden's back in. Like,
what do you guys think? Fraud or no fraud? Leave the comments down below. We want to hear your take on this too. Also,
well, dude, it's frustrating to me because I say, if Biden wins, then we take the loss. I mean, I do feel that that's going to be a loss for America. But
I agree.
But you take the loss like a man. That's it. But the same thing on the other end. Like if Trump wins, the Democrats got to take this loss like a man, and
but
that's it. But they won't.
I mean, it's been like these last 4 years, they've been crying over that.
Yeah. Well, not only that, then you see them posting like memes on there that Trump doesn't want to get out of office. Biden hasn't gotten 270 electoral votes, so he's not the elected president. So it's like, why are you guys so brainwashed to think that this shit is over? It's not over. And
when is it going to be over by?
Supposedly, I believe by January. Well,
no.
January 20th is when like the presidency of this presidency is over. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the exact date, but it's not over.
It's supposed to be sometime in December.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of spacing on that right now, but I believe you're right. But my thing is this: if you believe in America, don't you want the proper votes to be counted, legal votes, and both the Republicans and the Democrats to be standing next to each other, looking at the votes, making sure that everything's correct and on the up and up? I mean, if you believe in true democracy, I would say that that's what you want. But it blows my mind, man, that they say that there's absolutely no evidence. There was a letter written by the Democratic Senator something Warren. It's some lady.
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, there you go.
We're learning today that a new book that is coming out by Donna Brazile, the former acting chair of the Democratic National Committee, that the campaign of Secretary Hillary Clinton was far more influential at the Democratic Party, the Democratic National Committee, than we previously knew. Do you think, though, that what we're learning from Donna Brazile's book suggests that the campaign, that what the Democratic National Committee did, meant this election was rigged?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's a pretty powerful charge.
Well, what we have to focus on now as Democrats is we recognize the process was rigged, and now it is up to Democrats to build a new process, a process that really works and works for everyone, and that as we go forward, we have confidence in the integrity of the system, that Democrats, as they run a primary, are going to let the people speak, and that we're going to have a candidate who's the candidate chosen by the people. That's our job.
She wrote a letter about Dominion, which are these machines, voting machines that are in question right now. and she wrote a letter saying, we do not trust these machines. The software can be corrupted and blah, 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 blah. So she went off on this whole thing. This is a Democrat. And then all of a sudden, Biden wins, and they're like, oh, no, everything's perfectly fine. There's no voter fraud. It's like, wait, you wrote a fucking letter about this shit. And now all of a sudden there's no voter fraud? When Trump starts to tell you, hey, we have evidence that in one of these states, the software for Dominion flipped 6,000 votes from Trump to Biden, and 47 other counties in that state use the same software. You're not going to be like, well, let's maybe investigate the situation. Instead, the whole media is like, oh no, there's absolutely no evidence. They have 3 books of people with affidavits. They're basically telling you that they're willing to go on the stand and swear on the under oath that they saw voter fraud, and they're like, no, nothing to see here. Move along. It's like, come on, man. Like, and they're accusing Trump of not wanting to get out of the White House. Nah, man, they're trying to rob the guy. And if I was him, well, first of all, if the Democrats were on the other side, they'd be fucking doing the exact same shit. So it's like, why are you being a bitch about him taking all the legal actions that he can? He's not. They say, oh, he's undermining democracy. No, he's following the rule of law and going through the proper channels, the court channels, right, to challenge what has happened and the voter fraud.
Do you think he has a chance? I mean, obviously, like, lately, it just seems like the doors are closing on him.
Well, the whole establishment is against him. I mean, even his own Republican people are against him. They don't want him there because they want to keep on.
Out because, like, kind of what your mom said, that there's been so much corruption, and nobody wants him because he hasn't exposed them, but I mean, he's doing things that they should be done. Because one of the things, like, if you're serving your country as this, right? Mm-hmm. If this guy's going to walk out of the presidency when his term is up, right? And he's going to go back to a regular civilian. Yeah. He's probably not going to be like what Obama did. Like, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to make a contract with Netflix. They're going to start making millions. He already had that.
He's actually losing money doing this.
I know. He's losing money by doing it. I mean, to me, I find that the guy really cares for the country, and for the people. I don't think, people say that he's a racist. I don't think so, man. I don't.
There's like 400 songs written by black people saying how awesome Trump was, and then all of a sudden he gets into office and he's racist.
Exactly, and he's done a lot of good things. I mean, like, I didn't vote for him, like, the first time, and when I found out what he did with the automobile industry, like, because everybody wanted to leave, they wanted to leave Detroit. Yeah, and he's like, no, you can't leave. I'm going to do whatever it takes, but, like, but if you move, I'm not going to help you out. And he helped them out. He funded a lot of money into these companies. They're able to stay. They were the community was able to keep their people employed, because all of these jobs were going to go either south of the border or, like, somewhere,
or China,
or somewhere else.
China.
And
say China. 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 China.
So that was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. That's what kind of, like, got me.
Like, that he's actually trying to do something.
That he's doing something. That I was like, oh, that's really cool, because I thought of all the people in Detroit losing. I mean, Detroit as it is, it's like really...
It's struggling,
It's struggling, which that should never happen. I mean, if we're, like, in the greatest country...
like, why do we have
in
these
the
places
world? Why do we have all of
disarray?
These places where we have, like... like, completely...
Broken down.
Broken down.
Well... Man, it's
so
frustrating.
Many rabbit holes, right?
Yeah, there's so many rabbit holes with this whole situation. And, a lot of people will say, oh, he's still a piece of shit and he's doing horrible things for America. Man, he was trying to bring home the troops from the Middle East. And Did
He
you
brought
know?
some.
Well, did you know that generals were lying to him about how many troops they had out there, so he wouldn't bring any more troops in? Dude, that's my mind was blown when I heard that these generals were lying to him so he wouldn't bring home more troops. Like, this guy's like, fuck them. It's about America.
Exactly. And everybody's just thinking of the money, because obviously if they're deployed, if they're somewhere else, they're cutting the checks.
Dude,
like, especially like, the companies that are hired by the government.
Yeah.
They're
the ones raking in the cash. I heard some statistic that for every 1 day of war is 7 years of peace on how much money you make. So of course they're gonna want to go to war. And the thing is that these moles are embedded in our like democracy, where they want war because they want to make money and all these. It's a horrible thing, man. And
they want to do nothing but fight wars so that all of those wonderful companies that make the bombs and make the planes and make everything else stay happy.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was this is kind of like how Republicans used to think before.
Yeah, that was Republicans before.
Late 60s,
Man,
70s.
The Democrats were all about, we don't want any war, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, the
It
warmongers
shifted.
are the Democrats. Oh, no, we need to go free those people over there. It's like, motherfucker, help the people over here in Detroit. Help the people in Chicago. Chicago, guns are illegal. Murder capital of the United States right there.
Chicago faces an epidemic of gun violence. This year alone, more than 2,100 people have been shot, more than 400 killed.
Many guys told us they'd rather risk the police catching them with a gun than have their rival find them without one.
Where do you get a gun like this? Where did you get this gun?
We got off the streets, people sell them.
How easy is it for someone to get a gun?
That easy. You want one? Yeah. Just like that. That's how easy it is.
With guns, dude.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's frustrating because then only the criminals have guns. No honest citizens have guns. So it's all a circle, man. And it's frustrating to me to just hear, like, people who I thought were my friends on social media calling me, oh, you Trump lover I'm not loving Trump. I have love for America. And I think that if you don't, I mean, what are you doing here if you don't love America? And I know it's not the perfect place, but and here's another thing too. Everyone says, oh, it's full of racists. Obviously, they have not been to Mexico, my friend. If you want to see racist people, head on down there for a little bit. And their race is just same thing. The lighter the person is, the better they get treated, and the darker they are.
I had racism. It's sad, but it's always going to be around, I guess. Or
I think it's tribalism.
It's tribalism.
At the very
yes, because check this out.
rooted.
A while ago, a long time ago, before I got married, I had a roommate, and he was from India. Okay.
Uh-huh.
He was here, starting to become a doctor, and he came from a pretty wealthy family from India and stuff, right? So he met a girl here, from India also. She was fucking beautiful, dude. But her skin complexion was darker than his. The family didn't approve of that.
I'm telling you, man, everyone thinks
their
that
own thing.
Yeah.
It's from their
It's
own,
in every country, man.
From their own culture, their own country and stuff, and it's like, I was like fucking blown away when he told me. It's like, what? You what? And I don't know. It's just it's really sad, but that does exist. I actually even got to experience racism or prejudice against me by when I was a teenager. I was dating a Filipino girl, and at the time everything was going great, but when the parents found out that I was Hispanic, she had to break up with me immediately.
Yeah,
they were not happy about it.
This stuff happens everywhere, man, and you can't be acting like the victim at all times. You just, all right, man, whatever. You just walk away from those people, and what can you do? if they're open to discussion, that's great. But most people, I mean, to be this is getting funny. It's going to sound a little funny. A lot of the Democrats are just like racist people, and you can take that to the bank because they're unwilling to even have an open conversation.
Nowadays they are, because now everything. If you don't agree with me, you're racist, or I don't want to talk to you, or
as soon as you say,
I want to ban you, or
as soon as they know that you're for some of Trump's policies, they're like, if you believe in anything that Trump does, unfriend me. And it's like, dude, like, are you that fucking stupid? Like, are you seriously that fucking retarded?
I actually wanted to talk on that because I don't think that helps also, Hector.
What's that? Me calling them fucking retarded?
Exactly. Or you calling them stupid and stuff like that. Because then we're creating this animosity.
I agree, but I mean,
we're creating
honestly,
this
bro,
hatred, though.
Honestly, like,
but again, like what you said, we can have an open discussion about it, right? And just a few seconds ago, you said we need to educate them, or like, you know what, that's how they are. Just walk away with it.
Well, I guess I'm talking about racist people. Sometimes you're not going to be able to break through with them. But I'm talking about the Democrat people. They don't want to even have a conversation with you. And as soon as you start like actually discussing policies, they attack you. Yeah, but he fucked a porn star. Oh, his wife, we've seen her naked. And it's like, dude, Joe Biden's wife was cheating on her husband with Joe Biden. It's like,
but why do we focus so much on all of these like minor things that are, it's not even helping the country, it's not even related to the country,
to the policies that are being implemented.
Exactly. I mean, that's just a waste of fucking time.
And the thing is, man, like everyone's like, well, Trump did this. And it's like, dude, I don't believe, like, I don't even agree with 100% of shit that I talk with my mom with. Like, that's my mom. Like, you think I'm going to agree 100% with Trump? Like, get out of here. But the very first thing I could tell you is Biden is telling me, hell yeah, we're coming for your guns.
To gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. And Trump is saying, I stand with the American people and I will protect your right to your guns basically till the day he dies.
Came through for me, and I am going to come through for you. Will never, ever infringe on the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Never, ever.
Who the fuck do you think I'm more gonna lean towards?
Of course.
And you know they want to ban the ARs, right? I'm sorry, I keep on going to the 2A, the Second Amendment. I'm sorry, it's
that's fine. I mean, like, no, I'm with you because just like I told you, dude, I'm not a gun owner, but I would be frustrated also if they were to say like, you know what, we're taking the First Amendment.
Yeah, can you believe
like,
that?
What the?
Well, it's for your protection.
No. I mean, like,
because you know how many people die because of suicide.
Exactly. So it's like no. We don't start taking things away. We can educate people or whatever, but it's like, I mean, dude, like, oh my God, dude, if they were to take the guns away from everybody, there's a black market. It's just gonna be worse. It's just like prostitution. You make things, you tell people don't do this, the more they do it.
Yeah, and maybe, man, it's like I said, it's frustrating to me. You know that there's more violence created by handguns than the AR-15s or AK-47s or anything like that, right? I think it's like 2% of the violence that's done in America is with an AK not an AR. But that's the weapon they want to ban. They don't want to ban handguns, and handguns are the highest rate of like violence is with handguns.
If they're focusing on a specific one, is because obviously
it's because it looks scary to them.
It can do more damage. I mean, I don't mean it like shit. Maybe if they have a specific agenda, that's something that you can definitely protect yourself with.
Well, it's a gun, but it's a two-sided coin. The guns are there against a tyrannical government in case they get out of hand, and the AR-15 and the AK-47s are the common musket of this day. So it's not and they're like, well, it's a weapon of war. Well, it's the common gun in America right now is the ARs and AKs to a certain extent. So it's like, so you're trying to take away America. We're supposed to be the militia, standing militia against a tyrannical government, and the government's telling you, hey, we need to take away your musket. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what do you mean you want to take away my gun? It's specifically there for you. So it's frustrating to me to live in California and to see how all these people vote to get rid of our rights. And it's like, my family's an immigrant family from Mexico. I'm like, no, what the fuck are you guys doing? Are you guys, and excuse me, but I'm gonna have to say it, are you guys fucking retarded? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you don't know what happens if you give up your rights. And that's
it's like they're gonna go. It's like being in Mexico.
I'm telling you, man. And it's so frustrating to me that they don't appreciate that right. And I understand. Like, I think it's just they're not very well informed, because now when the riots started happening, all these people in California started fucking buying guns. Like,
I know. Like,
I went to the gun store recently. It looked like all they sold was magazines, because they had one gun left. And I'm like, hey, can I take a look at that? And he's like, oh, no, he's going to buy it. This guy's going to be buying it. No, you can't look at it. I was like, what the fuck? So you can't even look at a gun because they're all sold out everywhere. So it's getting that panicky here in California. There's no ammo. I'm like, hey, you guys got any 9mm ammo? Oh, no, man. We haven't gotten some in a long time. And I've been to like 5 different stores trying to pick up ammo. And I'm just like, oh, I guess, fuck, I can't get any ammo.
How much ammo do you have? Do you have like...
Well, I have some ammo. I've got ammo. Okay. But the thing is, like, it's kind of like, if you're running out of cheese, you're going to go to the store and buy some more cheese, you know? Like, same thing with this. It's like, all right, well, I have some.
Are they expensive? Is that expensive?
What, ammo?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on, like, how much you're buying. And it's like saying, is ice cream expensive? Well, are you buying a tub or are you buying
an ignorant question, because I don't know it. It's not my world.
Yeah, I mean, like...
But I mean, like, how does it sell it? Do they sell, like, a dozen bullets or, like...
Yeah, they sell you, like, a small pack. Like, it depends on the caliber. Depends how many bullets you're going to have in there. I think...
But give me, like, a price. Like,
okay, it was like $25 for a box. Shit, I think it was a box of 100 of 22... ammo. So,
I mean, to me that would be expensive.
$25 is expensive to you for 100 rounds?
Because it's not my thing, I guess.
You know? But I mean, but that's like saying, like, oh, your microphone, how much did that cost you? Oh shit, that shit cost $150. That's expensive to me. Like, exactly. Well, it's like,
no, I know, but and again, it's this is my world. That's your world. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, I wouldn't pay $25 for it, because it's like. I would invest it on a mic. I invested on a camera. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
let me grab a rock. Are you coming for me? Fuck. Let me grab this rock.
I mean, it's to a certain extent, it becomes like a situation where if you're a collector of something, you know, like some people collect cameras, for example. Dude, you could buy cameras from the 1970s and it'll cost you $5,000. You know.
Right.
Same thing with a gun, man. Like you can go buy an expensive Colt revolver that's no longer in production, and it'll cost you $5,000, you know? So go get yourself a Desert Eagle, something nice, and it's going to end up costing you, it just depends on what you want. I mean, you could buy a $100 shotgun if you want, you know? Like, it might not work for more than 2 days, but I mean, it depends what you want, you know?
Got it.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this up with a couple of points that I wanted to bring up here. First one, China pays billions of dollars to American universities.
Why?
Why do you think? For influence. It's for influence. I mean, because nobody's going to pay you money for being nice. Like, here's $1 billion. Harvard. Or, you know, the whole point is that, at least from my perspective, they're trying to ingrain themselves into the American culture and teach you that communism isn't bad and blah, 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 blah.
It's just kind of like... They're already doing that with Hollywood. Now they want to get into our education.
Yeah, no, and this is
freaking
blows my mind. Oh my god, I just had an Alex Jones moment. So check this out. Do you play video games at all?
Not anymore.
Okay, not anymore.
My daughter does.
There's this video game. It's called Call of Duty Cold War. And basically, this trailer that came out, oh my God, it's popping, dude. It basically talks. They start out the interview of the trailer with this Russian spy, and he talks about how they will infiltrate America. And I'm sorry, he wasn't Russian; he was Soviet, because it was back in the 70s, I think, or the 80s, I believe. And anyway, he talks about how they're going to infiltrate America through the universities and with Marxist organizations.
Wow!
Right now, China and Russia are paying billions of dollars to our universities, obviously to put their agenda in those forums, and then these Marxist in places kind of like organizations like BLM are trying to tell you, oh no, communism is good, and it's like, no, it's not, man. Here we go. Let me see if I could pull up that. I think the guy's name is Sergey. Cold War trailer. Sergey. Oh, I think this is it, man. Oh, this shit's fucking hot.
Understand what's going on around you. You are in a state of war, and you have precious little time to save yourself. It's a slow process, which we call active measures. What matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. With a violent change of power, structure, and economy, period of normalization. This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C., who will promise lots of things, never mind whether the promises are fulfillable or not. The disaster is coming closer and closer. The danger is real.
Wow. The game is available now.
Yeah, that game's available. I got the copy of it. But what I'm saying is, like, this is a spy from the Soviet Union telling you that they're going to infiltrate the universities and they're going to infiltrate society by putting Marxist organizations and making them seem good. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So, and he's saying that that's how they're going to destroy America. And so I'm just kind of pointing out, like, holy shit, this guy was right. This shit is happening right now. So
it's pretty much what China's doing right now, infiltrating the universities.
Bro, do not give your rights up. So that's what I wanted to say there. Let me just give you one more thing here from this lady. This is a lady who was, I believe she was in Poland or something like that. And she talks about how they first ask you to register your guns, that the Germans came and, like, they said, well, we just need to register your guns because there's a lot of criminals. Once they register your guns, they say, well, the criminals, the crime hasn't gone down, so now we need to collect all your guns. And then once they collect all your guns, then the Nazis took over.
We also had gun control. We had to register our guns. All the government said guns are very unsafe, children are playing with guns, and there were many hunting accidents. And we also had murderers again. And the only way that they could track the murderers was by the serial number of the guns. Bring them to the police station. Everybody had to bring their gun to the police station so they could identify the serial number. Well, we were still law-abiding citizens, and we brought our guns to the police station, and they took down the serial number. Wasn't much longer that they said, no, it didn't work, we still had murderers, and they couldn't track them. The best way that we would have no more crimes and no more accidents, nobody would get hurt, bring the guns to the police station, and then we wouldn't have any more crime. They already know who had guns, and if you didn't bring your gun to the police station, capital punishment. I didn't see any heroes. Keep your guns and buy more guns.
A couple of other points that I wanted to make. Okay, healthcare, real quick. healthcare. They're telling you that they're going to give you free healthcare and all immigrants can get free healthcare and we're going to be living in lollipops and Wonderland.
Who's going to pay for that?
No such thing as a free lunch, my friend. It's no such thing. And I remember specifically when the whole Obamacare thing came through, they're like, I had insurance through my work. And they're like, oh, nothing's going to happen to people who already have their thing. Did your insurance go up?
Fuck yeah, it did.
By how much?
$160 more, dude.
Oh, so what you're saying is that Obamacare cost you $160 more. And I don't consider you to be the elite, the rich 400,000 plus people. So you're saying that this is gonna hurt normal Americans, but
of course it hurt me, dude. I mean, not just me, a lot of other people. I remember this businessman, like this mechanic that he would go and repair the bikes, the trucks where I used to work. His went up drastically,
and it's not just $50, $20. No, it's mine went up $100. As soon as my policy renewed. $100 more, and
right.
to me it's like they're trying to sell you, and just exactly what that guy from the Soviet Union says. They'll promise you whatever. It doesn't matter if it gets implemented or not, as long as you believe that promise before you get them in.
Yeah.
So you need to be really careful. No such thing as a free lunch, man. Okay, one thing I did want to kind of just mention in our wrap up here about Trump. In the 90s, being a Democrat was a cool thing, it was hip. It was the thing to be because you were against war. You were, that was kind of pro-America right there, being a Democrat. Now, I feel that Trump is the new punk. Everyone hates you if you and all the people who are supposed to be like the musicians that are anti-establishment. They're lining up like fucking sheep, man. Oh, yes, whatever. No, we need to make sure that we have safe spaces, that everything's perfect. Can you imagine telling fucking punk people in the fucking 70s and the 80s we need a safe space and we need to, make sure we don't offend anybody or anything?
Right.
What do you think they'd tell you?
A wanker.
Fucking tell you to go fuck yourself, man. And that's what the Democrats are now. They're like, oh, no, we need to, make sure everything's pretty.
That's what I told you in the beginning. It's like it seems like we've gotten very soft now.
Dude, and then the other thing too, to me it's
I think you know what, I personally I think how things have been shifting, and we're going to talk about it on the next one. Okay? It's due to social media. So on the next one we're going to go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, we can talk about the social media.
But it's all related, all due because of the social media. That's why we had gotten so soft.
Oh my God, dude! Oh, you're blowing my mind. I want to talk about so much shit right now, and we have to wrap it up. Well, we will talk on the next podcast about this. I have something that I want to tell you about. Something called the reset. So the Great Reset. I want to talk about that on the next podcast too, along with the social media, because it's kind of entrenched between the control.
All right. So for now, we're going to go ahead and leave you. This is the first podcast. We're just kind of getting our feet wet, but, a couple
Is that what you're getting wet?
We're going to make some adjustments here, but...
Well, thank you very much for listening to us. We really appreciate it. I know we might be full of shit, but either way, if you hate us, if you like us, go ahead and just leave a comment and rate us. If you don't like us, rate us, because even at that, we'd want to be the best at being the shittiest if that's possible.
Look, if you like us, cool. Give it a thumbs up, right? If you don't like us, give us a double click on the bottoms.
Doesn't that take it away?
That's why.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one with the Great Reset podcast and including
social media.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night. See you later. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. If you would like to donate, please join us on Subscribestar. Thank you again from all of us here at the OTM podcast, and you have a great night.